Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a quick version, and this is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe to the channel and share this channel with your community. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a quick version, so if you prefer the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, check out my Patreon page and my Paint with Lovejoy website. If you want to further support Paint with Lovejoy, please do. It all helps. And for more in-depth courses, check out paintwithlovejoy.com. And as always, share this with your community. All right, guys, this is a fun painting. So grab your supplies, make sure you take your progress photos, and this one is going to be a time-lapsed version. So if you want the full-length narrated one, please check out my Paint with Lovejoy website. So for this painting, we're going to fill in our background, and I'll be using shades of yellow and green. But again, you can change this out to anything that you want. I do recommend that you apply your paint a little bit thicker. If you can see the texture of your canvas as you're applying it, apply your paint thicker and it'll make your blending a little bit easier. Now on this one, I am using a watercolor paper with the edges taped to the edge. You can do this on watercolor paper or canvas panel or stretched canvas, whatever you feel like. And just use this video as a simple guideline to create your flower painting. Again, with full permission to switch out colors. So here, basically throwing in some other greens, some other shades, playing with that wet on wet blending, and do everything you want to your background while your paint is wet. And you can let it dry after this step. Pause the video, take your progress photo, let it dry, and then move into your flower shapes. You are more than welcome to practice your flower shapes on a scrap sheet of paper. I'm basically doing kind of 5 circles next to each other for kind of a 5-petal flower. And I'm using that middle flat brush and using the width of the brush. So feel free to play with different brushes to kind of find the flower shape that you like. I'm also doing various shades of blue for this section, and I am mixing my color kind of each time. And this is giving me some nice variation. Maybe it's a lighter blue, maybe it's a darker blue. You will see where I use that direct blue for a bit more pop of color, but feel free to kind of just play with the variety of your flower colors. You're also welcome to rotate the canvas, turn it sideways, turn it upside down, whatever you need to do to make your application of painting easier. I keep everything just in the same orientation just because I'm filming the video, but like I said, full permission to change and adjust this for what you need. So here you can see where I'm going in with more of that direct, that darker blue. I am overlapping the flowers. By overlapping, it helps create more depth and it creates a more intriguing composition. So don't be afraid to overlap your flowers. And again, take note that just about every flower that I make, I'm going over and grabbing more paint or mixing a new color. You do want to apply this with a bit of a thicker application, especially if you're like me and you're using student grade paint. So here I cleaned the brush really good, moved into doing the white flowers and just kind of working my way from the left-hand side of the canvas across. This is a great time to trust your instincts, and if you're kind of hovering your brush somewhere and go, should I put a flower here? Go ahead and put a flower there. That's your instincts going, yeah, this is a good spot. And then, like I said earlier, don't be afraid to overlap your flowers. It just adds more intrigue to your composition. If you find that you're holding your brush or holding your breath as you do this, please take a big inhale. And if your brush is kind of shaky as you're doing this, that is an indicator that you are holding your breath. So if you exhale as you touch the brush to the canvas, that's going to make your process a little bit easier and a little more enjoyable. And nothing's wrong with holding your breath. I do it even on new things that I am trying out. So it's just part of being human. Now I'm moving into shades of purple or shades of lavender for the flowers and still overlapping them. You are going to find that you get into a nice groove of making your flowers, and that's a good thing. When you find yourself starting to get super sloppy, or you're tired, or you're hungry, or your flowers aren't looking like flowers anymore, give yourself permission to pause the video, take a break, go eat something, go take a walk, and then come back to your painting when you're a little bit more refreshed. You do not have to finish your painting in one sitting. It is okay to break it up and spread it out. Um, Part of painting is just kind of learning more about yourself. So again, as you notice that you get tired or hungry or your brushstrokes start getting sloppy, take a break. Totally okay. So this is coming along nicely. And this is, again, the time-lapsed version. So pause the video as much as you need. You do not need to keep up at this pace. And if you want the full version, fully narrated, it is available on my Paint with Lovejoy website. You can also find them on my Patreon account as well, though I'm a little slower on getting those out there. So again, just filling up the space. If you happen to be on a stretched canvas, maybe carry these flowers around the edges of your canvas just to make it look cooler when you hang it on your wall. And just like with the various shades, we're getting into a little bit darker pinks and even some reds as we do these final touches. We will be using some green to make some stems and a few leaves, and then we'll be doing a little bit of yellow in the center of the flowers. So we're actually doing the yellow first, and then we'll do the leaves. And this is just a tiny little dot, doesn't have to be perfect, in the middle of each flower. And again, take note of how often I go back and grab that yellow paint. Almost every 2 or 3 flowers, I go back and grab more. So that way you are applying your paint thicker and just kind of grabbing that fresh blob of paint to apply. You're doing great. I'm proud of you for taking time out of your busy day and schedule to just get creative. I do hope that you are finding the relaxing benefits of the painting process and that you look forward to your creating time. So here, just putting a few little stems and some leaves, and that will bring us into the conclusion of this little floral painting. So I hope you enjoyed it. Again, feel free to change it up and make this your own, and try to find regular painting outlets, weekly, if not monthly. It is for your benefit. Thanks so much for checking this out, and until next time, cheers.